It's day 2 of the 2019 3C2A basketball championships from Ventura College. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, and Marcia Foster, head coach at Fullerton College. And 4 games on the slate today, as we saw yesterday. The quarters for the women's bracket, it's Merced and ELAC. These are 2 teams very powerful and with a championship pedigree. In Merced, we saw a lot last year.
We did. I'm looking forward to this matchup. 2 tough teams, 2 defensive-minded teams, and they actually both put a bunch of points on the board, so it should be a really exciting game.
Yeah, for East Los Angeles College, they just come out of maybe the toughest conference in the entire 3C2A, South Coast Conference in the South. LA Trade Tech, who we'll see later today, Mount San Antonio College, perennial power, all in that conference with East Los Angeles. So no doubt they've been put through the ringer this year, and they come here certainly ready to make a run.
LA Trade Tech, we'll see in Game 2 later today versus San Joaquin Delta. Marcia, I know you're familiar a little bit with ELAC, especially being in the South, and they're led by a trio of Dominique Godbolt, Jalen Curley, and Adriana Gonzalez. And what can we expect to see from them? Well,
first of all, Godbolt comes off of the bench. She's their leading rebounder, and what he likes to call her his point post, because she makes a lot of good decisions. You can expect to see them sharing the ball, taking a lot of threes, going inside out. They do a lot of inside out. When they need to, they can put the pressure up on you. Tough kids who know how to score, kids who don't panic when they're down. They just know how to compete.
And for Merced, we saw a couple of Japanese imports last year, Ayaka Nakashima and Suzuna Soji, and those 2 were prominent figures in the run last year up here in Ventura.
Right, and funny, talking to Coach Huddleston, he said that the 2 of them, because it was new, being in this country was new, they thought it was just another tournament game. Right? They didn't understand why everybody was upset afterwards. When they realized what was going on, they came to him, they said, "We'll be back again." And here they are, testament to, and those are the 2 returners.
Well, 28-3 on the season and 11-1 in conference play.
You have to be very impressed with the job that Alan Huddleston has done this year. Yes, they were the runner-ups last year, but they have completely reloaded 4 freshmen in the starting lineup for today's quarterfinals. So Coach Alan Huddleston has managed to reload and keep Merced a power.
Absolutely. We'll find out who's going to punch their ticket to semifinal Saturday in a couple minutes here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
It's more than March. It's kinship, resilience, trust. It's love, a feeling of purpose, pure. It's your ode of honor, a melody of madness, until only one remains. The lights go dim, the crowd's roaring, but it's only you. You are the game.
1, Day 2, ELAC and Merced here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Happy you've joined us, everyone. Spread the word, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. And also on YouTube, you can share the link via your smartphone or tablet PC and upscale it to 4K if you like on an Apple TV or a Roku device. Starting fives for Merced: Hope Salsig, Ayaka Nakashima, Malaya Kendrick, leading scorer on the year for the Blue Devils. Suzuna Soji and Jada Johnson. For ELAC, Jennifer Poole, Mercedes Ortiz, Jalen Curley, Zamaris Wallace, and Jadis Watson. Coach, what's the book on ELAC? What do they like to do?
They like to shoot the ball. They'll come down, they'll swing it around, and they'll put it up. They'll also go inside out. They're really tough getting the ball into the post. If the post doesn't have a clear move to the basket, they'll kick it back out. They'll shoot the three. Very, very unselfish team.
Yeah, and last year when we saw Merced play, there was a lot of synergy between the two Japanese players, Nakashima and Soji. They had a very natural feel for the game and a very nice connection. And Jeff, we go back to our time at Las Positas, and when we watched College of the Siskiyous make their run with the Daly sisters, and obviously they were twins, so there's a connection there. But very much like Nakashima and Shoji, I wonder how that's developed over the last year.
Well, you talk about two kids, too, that have come from another country. They're here from Japan. They didn't speak the language when they came. They're from different cities in Japan. So the tie, the relationships that they built, over, the time being here has to help them on the floor. First of all, they're hanging together because they got to stick together because they understand each other. Now I heard they're speaking all kinds of slang and they have it down. But, yeah, that's super important in developing that chemistry.
I was going to say that the language development's probably developed a little bit. So, low-key probably has a different meaning to them now than it did last year.
Maybe Alan Huddleston has been able to go away from hand signals and more to actual verbal with them maybe this year. You imagine at the start a lot of body language in terms of communicating as they have no doubt become more accustomed to the routine for Merced College as they prepare for this matchup. Fascinating matchup between these two teams, very similar in their styles. Both teams among the leaders in three-point percentage. Both teams among the leaders in the 3C2A in offensive rebounding. So I think, Marcia, that goes to the point you're making about a faster pace, getting shots up on the board, in fact, right away.
Right off the bat, it's Soji with the layup. So Merced strikes first blood. We're getting up and down. Expect to have your track shoes ready. ELAC off on their first attempt. Soji brings it up, fires from 12 feet. That's good. A 4-0 run for Suzuna Soji.
Yeah, no one steps up on Shoji, so she ends up with a good look from about 12 feet.
So ELAC, a little bit on their heels here. This could be a 10-second violation as Jennifer Poole unable to get out of the backcourt. So the pressure on early here from Alan Huddleston and the Merced College Blue Devils.
Something you can expect to see the entire game.
We're just looking at it based on what we saw last year. And obviously, we've seen some tape from what we did last year. Merced looks a lot faster out there.
They had a couple big girls last year.
They did. Turning and firing off. Jada Johnson off on the miss. Donna Gonzalez will check that. Is Mercedes Ortiz. She'll kick back to Poole. And ELAC will try to control the tempo here. Zamaris Wallace. Wallace holding near side. I feel like ELAC starting their offense a little too far out for a team that wants to get it inside. Not going to serve them well. That was a near travel by Poole. Off to Ortiz. Ortiz trying to get ELAC on the board. She's off the mark. Rebounded by Malia Kendrick. And Kendrick, the leading scorer, averaging about 16 a game on the season for the Blue Devils. Nakashima from three. That one hits backboard first. Kendrick with a rebound off to Soji. Soji thought about it, bluffed at a three. Gets to her mid-range game. Well, I really like what Soji does there. Gets to her spot. She's off on the shot, but she has a great feel so far for the game. Love her flow.
Very patient player.
It's good mid-post entry. Wallace is off the mark. So Merced with a 4-0 lead. Near 7-0. Kendrick flies in with a weak side rebound, expecting a call down low. This one off of the foot of Jada Johnson. It should go back to ELAC. Well, yesterday in the men's bracket, we saw jitters be a bit of a factor early on, and I suspect that might be a factor right here for ELAC. They look a little out of sorts.
I think so. When a team presses you from the beginning of the game and the pace is fast and they're making buckets, it'll take them a second, but they'll get into the rhythm. Like we've already said, Jeff already said, that they played against some of the best competition in the state for the entire season.
And one of the teams that's here, LA Trade Tech, they were unable to beat them in conference play, dropping 2.
But East Los Angeles College does have the only victory over top seed Moorpark on the season. So that's an impressive non-conference win. It's
a game of matchups from Malia Kendrick. Look, she's in with some bigs, and she wins the ball there. They call foul?
No foul on the board.
Was that a jump ball? Okay, so jump ball called. I haven't seen the arrow change. There we go. Robert Lewis on the table. SID at Pasadena City. Pull with it on the far side for ELAC, trailing 4-0. First quarter action here on day 2 of the 2019 3C2A basketball championships. That went off of the hands of Ortiz and out of bounds. Back to Merced it will go. Kendrick will bring it up. Inside out dribble, crossover to her left. She had Johnson in the middle. Mr. Johnson needs to get out of the key. Well, no count being initiated. Soji again. It's 6-0. Soji versus ELAC.
That was a terrific high screen, freeing up Shoji.
Cool. Near
nice
travel
pass.
inside, and that's a great find and a great play defensively by Nakashima for the steal. Off to Kendrick in transition. 1-on-2, doesn't matter. She'll fire one up. Off of the glass, that's short. Rebounded by Jalen Curley. Had not seen a lot or heard a lot of Curley early on. They're trying to get Poole in the mix. Layup up and good for Jennifer Poole.
Nice attack.
I like the way she uses the contact there to really propel her in her move. Soji, Kendrick, 17-footer, a little flat. Rebound off to ELAC, and here we go. Curley spots up from 3. That one off the mark. Johnson flying in for the rebound. Karam's off. This is Kendrick. Kendrick everywhere. What a spark plug. Kendrick, 5'7" point guard from Fresno. Edison High School. Looking for Johnson down low. That pass just isn't there. The angle not there. Lucky bounce over to Soji. Soji inside. Nice. Unbelievable find down low. Soji has been involved in all 8 points. 6 on the board and an assist that time to Jada Johnson.
What a nice attack. Fake the 3, get into the lane, get it to Big Bro.
Inside, ELAC, little bully ball down low. Jadis Watson.
That's another good pass on the post entry.
And it's an advantage that ELAC has. No one on Merced has the size that ELAC has inside. You need to get it in.
Well, the team that dictated pace yesterday was the victor. No upsets yesterday. Near upset in the nightcap and the top seed Fullerton, but Perry Webster and company gritting one out, losing one of their best players who did not play, Amaje Smith. Missed yesterday's contest, a stomach bug right before the game, so he was going to have the duties of guarding Skylar Chavez, one of the top players in the state of California. And Fullerton getting a little plug here, and on to Saturday tomorrow.
Yeah, Coach Webster and his guys, they find a way to win games. They've been in some tough ones throughout the season. Lance Coleman did his thing last night.
He really, really did. Down the stretch, icy. ELAC starting to turn up the pressure defensively in the passing lane. Pull to the rack, lays it up, lays it in.
You might be able to attack Merced on the inside. A little bit lacking in size.
Soji pushing the pace, pulls up from 15. That one off the back iron, gets a friendly roll. Suzuna Soji.
If you think back to last year, it was a very big Mount San Jacinto squad that was finally able to wear down Merced in the championship game en route to their championship last year.
We suspect that ELAC has a similar game plan in place. Right now, Merced executing at a high clip. Inside, that's a nice move. Great drop step and finish by Dominique Godbolt. And as soon as she's inserted in the ball game off of the bench. Godbolt paying dividends. Outside, wide open three for Salzig. Sharp shooter with the triple.
It's a pace I think both teams are comfortable with.
Poole and one. That's a great finish by Jennifer Poole. See her come down the lane here on the replay. Maybe a bit of a push off, but takes the contact. She's fouled by Nakashima, and she can cut this to a 2-point ball game.
Coach Turner said if the game looks like a tennis match with number 10, if it's going back and forth, they're right where they want to be. Said she's one of the most unselfish players he's coached.
What I like about her game is that, oftentimes we talk about, and I know Jeff brings it up a lot, and it's so true, always want to go into the key with the intent to shoot, not to pass, but to have that ability to find an open player, as you see in transition. That's Ashley Hansen scoring from Merced. When you have that dynamic and the vision to make that adjustment on the fly and find the open player, it really pays a lot of dividends. Look at right here, Poole going in to shoot, and an unselfish player, but now making a run here for ELAC. Soji fouled.
Poole realizes what she needs to do to get them going.
Yeah. Well, Merced wants to get you on the heels defensively, and I think Poole was doing exactly that. Tit for tat here.
Guys, I think there's a scouting dynamic going on here. Both these teams shoot the ball very well, and you're seeing both teams attack in transition, and nobody's really stopping the ball, and I think that's because defensively you want to stay at home. I think they're a little bit leery about leaving shooters open, and I think both teams making a great adjustment offensively and attacking the rim.
That's what makes you a dangerous player, when you can do those things, right? When you can shoot the three, when you can get into the key, when you can finish at the rim.
And when you're at this level, when you're at the State 8, it's something where all teams are going to have players of that caliber and that ability.
Absolutely.
Full court pressure now here from Merced. Godbolt. Power point, if you will. It's going to be a travel. Like she slipped the pivot foot. Yeah, she hopped. Merced after the turnover, leading by 5, under 4 to go in the first quarter. Nakashima with it on the far side, guarded by Poole. Man defense here for ELAC. 3 up and off the mark. There's Kaylee Chavez. Rebound, foul for 1, stolen. That's Hansen. Hansen on the floor. Battle for it. Kendrick in. And the arrow in favor of Merced.
The Merced trap right now, very effective to start out this ball game, and I think East Los Angeles College got to make more moves off the ball to try and give some opportunities to attack that trap.
Hold on here, Jeffrey. I think we just had a technical foul called on Coach Bruce Turner, or did he call the timeout? We have a discussion about it because I thought I saw not a timeout. I thought I saw a technical foul motion by the referee.
30-second timeout.
And a technical foul.
Wow. Okay, so Coach Turner was coming on the floor to get set up for the timeout, get his players out of the scrum, and I think they ruled that because he came out of the coach's box, and he hadn't made the fact that he was calling a timeout clear, or maybe something verbal wasn't heard. I think that's probably a technical they should rescind, because I think it was pretty clear that he had called timeout. I could hear it through the noise-canceling cups here.
I think he was pretty upset about that last physical play inside, and that nothing was called. You know, as a coach, you try to take advantage of calling a timeout and say a couple things on your way out. So understand that, though. He wants the game to be called. They're going to be physical. He wants to be physical too, but he doesn't want him to get away with things, so he's letting them know right away.
Can you talk from a coaching standpoint about what that can mean to your players sometimes to go out there and the players see that you're fighting for them and that you want things to be called the right way for them, and sometimes from a coaching standpoint, is there some intentionality to that? Will you do that to let the players know that you're backing them up a little bit?
Absolutely. I don't think Coach Turner was trying to do it this early in the game, but he was trying to take a stand for his kids. Your kids want to know that you have their back out there on the floor, especially when, again, the game is super physical and maybe some things aren't being called. Your kids are getting frustrated. They need to know that you're going to stand up for them.
So she hits both. It's 19-12. That one in and out from Ashley Hansen. Hansen's provided some early spark here off of the bench. Poole to the rack, right-handed layup. That one can't get it to go. Southsig with a rebound, off to the races. Merced crossover dribble from Southsig behind the back, showing out a little bit of a dribbling clinic. Kendrick starts in the defense, inside to the short corner. Southsig brings it up. Patience here from Merced. Soji
Good hands.
on the baseline. Poole with the steal. Poole to the bucket. That layup is off the mark. Chavez secures the rebound for Merced. Point blank opportunity missed here for ELAC. Meanwhile, inside it's Kendrick with a layup.
That's a good extra pass. You have to be so aware of the three-point shot. Leads to the layup.
Kendrick.
Merced is an extremely unselfish team. It's like getting the best shot on the floor.
Well, to that point, 4th in the 3C2A in assists.
That's a nice touch down low, exhibited by Adriana Gonzalez. She's going to have to start to get going. 21-14, Kendrick to the rack. Malia Kendrick now with 4. Soji has really carried the load here in the first quarter, 12 points. More than half of the point total for the Blue Devils. Godbolt down low. Soji trying to sell the flop. Poole's going to be fouled. That's a good find down low from Godbolt.
Continue to see that not called as you see the replay very quickly. And going down on the contact in the low post, that's been a no foul pretty much all weekend so far.
And I like that point of emphasis. You know what? Don't reward players defensively who are going to flop. Okay,
Right.
Make them earn it. Make them get their money's worth on contact. You know, if it's in the chest and they're holding their ground, it's one thing. But if they just take first contact, whether it be soft or hard, and they're just flying all over the place, don't call it. Referee's great yesterday. Pretty good so far today.
Seems like the strategy for Merced to be able to deal with that size inside.
Godbolt fronted by Kendrick. I want to say this is off of ELAC. Indeed, this will be Davalos, Italy. Davalos turns it over.
I got the system down.
First quarter controlled here by Merced. Soji brings it up. Off to Kendrick. They're looking for Jada Johnson down low. Godbolt, not much in terms of getting in the way of it. Godbolt gives up an offensive rebound to Jada Johnson, who delivers. Merced with their largest lead at 11. That shot up. Great defense on the ball by Malia Kendrick. Kendrick now in transition. Spots up from 15. Malia Kendrick starting to heat up. The lead is 13 for the Blue Devils.
Transition defense is going to be extremely important. What a great pass.
No look feed, a beauty from Davalos. To Adriana Gonzalez, she has 4. You'll have to need more of that. Soji, not stopped. Layup, no good. This is Ortiz. Ortiz in the corner. Pass not cleanly handled. To Davalos. Davalos with that beautiful pass just a moment ago. Crossover dribble into the lane. Godbolt kicks it out. Inside out play like you talked about, Coach. Ortiz throws it away and out of bounds. Need to shoot that first one. You like maybe playing a little too unselfish here.
Right. She needs to shoot that ball and kick out.
ELAC playing hot potato with the turnover. A couple of them we've seen here in the first quarter. Trying to get their feet under them. Said no problems there. Soji will likely be the final possession here of the first quarter on the dribble, working against Davalos defensively. Satali. Soji gets around, left-handed layup, rims out. Godbolt going to have to fire and heave-ho from half court. That one off the mark, and we'll go in after one. 27-16 Merced with a commanding 11-point lead. You are watching the 2019 3C2A Basketball Championships live. ELAC trailing by double digits here to start the second quarter. And Marcia, well, where is it going to come from? What's the adjustment they need to make?
Well, one, they have to get back in transition defense and stop the ball because they're getting too deep. Merced is getting too deep into the key. But they need to get it in, get it out, just like this, and knock down some shots.
You got to put points on the board.
Right.
Godbolt, she's fouled by Johnson. And more of that. I like to see Godbolt be a little bit more aggressive offensively. I like the kick out there for an open three when she gets the rebound, but you have to assert your presence down low offensively.
Absolutely. They do not have the size to contend with her on the inside. That's strength.
Who's Dominic Godbolt remind you of as a player?
I was going to say Charles Barkley because that's what she reminds me of size-wise. She had 5 games of 20 points and 30 rebounds last year.
Nakashima from 3, that one off the mark.
And I say that more about the size, but she's definitely just like an enforcer inside. She makes great decisions.
Very active.
Yes.
Especially on the offensive rebounds.
And if she steps out, she can shoot it from outside, hitting 35% from 3.
Davalos off the back iron. Godbolt trying to track it down. While her pressure there forces Southwick to tap that one out. So ELAC going to get another possession here. A pretty good start to the second quarter for the Huskies.
I say Charles Barkley. I think I have to get a more relevant player so everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Charles Barkley is always relevant.
He might hit you up saying, "You say I'm not relevant now?" I doubt he's watching. It'd be nice though if he got a retweet. I don't think he's on Twitter.
No, Charles isn't on Twitter.
He doesn't need to be.
No.
Godbolt fouled. It's just going to go against Nakashima. Yep.
That's her second.
Yeah. And more of this from ELAC. You start to get a couple players in foul trouble. Now you lose a little rhythm offensively if you're Merced. So dangerous when Nakashima, Soji, and Hendrick are on the floor. It's one of those components. Change the dynamic just a little bit. Godbolt out front, inside out dribble, step back from 17. She knew it was off. She goes after her own rebound, wins another possession. Poole kicks it back. ELAC, this is their 5th attempt. Pass is stolen. Great job by Johnson in the passing lane down low. Poole looking for a steal. Nakashima kicks wide open. Southwick from 3. It's off the mark. Rebound, fought for, and it's going to be a jump ball in favor of Merced.
That last offensive possession for ELAC, that was the longest the ball had been on one end of the court since the game started. And that's what they're going to need to do.
Near steal, that's off the Poole, I believe.
The Huskies are living a little bit dangerously right now. A couple of good looks from three-point range that haven't gone for Merced, but that penetration and kick continues to be effective in generating open shots.
This is a good timeout here from Coach Huddleston because I think he realizes that. He wants to drop a play to really step on the gas. 27-16 Merced by 11. 13 to go in the second quarter. Didn't draw iron. Poole quickly the other way, kicks it into the short corner, outside, wide open three-point shot made by Adriana Gonzalez.
There they go.
More of that. Love the ball movement there. Soji kicks out, Hansen from 3, that one's short. Gonzalez with a rebound, now in transition. Gonzalez thinks about pulling up, and Kendrick said, Shot by the Blue Devils getting back. Poole. To Ortiz. Ortiz down inside to Godbolt. Godbolt travel.
She's just going to need to be more patient when she gets it inside. She has a size advantage. She can slow it down, take a couple dribbles and go up.
Her base, she's a little bit too high up, so when that leverage takes her forward, she's dragging the pivot forward. It's the second time she's done that now. She's a little low. And she's such a tough player to guard because you're not going to get around her. She's so solid down low. Bit of a zone matchup look. I don't know if ELAC's on the same page defensively because I think they're supposed to switch there. Instead, it's a bucket for the Blue Devils.
Another high ball screen and a jumper from about 15 feet, and that has been very effective all game for Merced.
What's the defensive assignment there? Because it looks like it's a 3-2 shell, but they come over and then nobody's filling to the top defensively for ELAC.
There's a lot of positionless basketball going on with Merced, which makes it challenging.
Like there's something supposed to fill top. She should be up at the top. And this is going to travel.
Right. They're being physical going over the screen right now. They may have to adjust that and switch it or go under.
With Godwell out there, I don't think you want her on the perimeter. So I think if that change is made, you're going to see the Blue Devils probably try to bring out a big and switch on to that. If they do start switching, but I think they're staying home right now. That's why you see some of the open shots. Fouled by Kendrick and one.
She is doing a great job attacking the rim, keeping ELAC in the game.
Yep.
Mercedes Ortiz attempts just one free throw a game on the season. The way she is driving and attacking the rim, it's hard to believe that number. You think she'd get to the line a little more often.
Poole now in the double digits. She has 5 of 8 from the field. She's getting to the rim at will. Poole converts on the end one. 7-point advantage for Merced. Soji on the far side. Crossover to her right, gets to her spot, 12-footer, gets a friendly roll, no. Defended by Godbolt. Poole. Again, into attack mode. Soji moving her feet. That's the second time she's moved her feet, beat the offensive player to the spot, and whistle for a foul. That's her second foul.
Yeah, Nakashima with 2.
Coach, what do you think about that? We're watching here. It looks like Poole just falls down.
There was a little contact, not necessarily that the Merced player initiated, but good things happen when you attack the basket.
Agreed. You put the onus on the referee to make a call, and sometimes you're going to have some of those anticipation calls. Obviously, as players, defensively, easy.
Right.
One more time. Thrown out of bounds. I feel like just out of sorts offensively. So, good spurts, but nothing consistent so far. And find themselves down by 7.
One of the things that ELAC does well, the inside out, Merced is playing them before that. They're anticipating those passes, getting their hands on it.
I don't think as of right now you need to go outside. You just need to go inside. And then when they start collapsing, that's when you go outside. Soji turns the corner, right-handed layup is good. Really love her game, her ability to get to her spot and beat the defender, get her hips past her defensive assignment.
And that's what happens when you have shooters opposite the ball. Yep. They can't commit to stop the ball. Thought that ELAC did a great job of plugging the screen, getting underneath it. She just got that little space that she needed to turn the corner.
This is the 15th foul on Merced.
That's a good job by Dominique Gondol. Really recognizing that Haley Chavez is not moving her feet defensively, so she gets to the spot, she makes Chavez arm blocker. That's going to get the attention of the referee. Savvy play by Dominique.
1 of 7 from the line for the Huskies so far in this one.
It's factor in to be a tight game. That one also off the mark. Kendrick battling for a rebound. We'll have another jump ball. No, it's off the Godbolt. Great job down low.
Great hustle play by Adriana Gonzalez.
Yeah, it was Adriana and Mercedes Ortiz on the floor getting dirty. Back to a 7-point advantage for Merced. They have the ball. Chavez with it out front. Godbolt trying to poke it from behind. That one off the mark, off the back iron. Tapped out of bounds by Poole. 5:20 to go in the second quarter. ELAC starting to close the gap. Kendrick fouled and one.
A tough drive.
A solid drive by Malay Kendrick. See it here on the baseline, good shot of it. Godbolt late to get over. Gets her on the arm. Kendrick finish. Chance for the Blue Devils to get it back out to double digits. Kendrick good on the free throw. 34-24. Godbolt. That was good. Gets it back from Poole. That one stolen. Hansen up ahead. Soji cleared out. That's a great job by Salzig in transition, clearing out the defender. Almost acts as a screen. Soji on the board again. She has 16 points. A response from Gonzalez. Much needed response from ELAC.
A couple of threes in the quarter for Gonzalez have been huge.
Losing stops momentarily. Let's see if they can get a stop. Merced has been the better team executing their offensive sets. Doing exactly what they need to. Soji crossover quick. That one tapped up by Poole. Soji out of bounds off of her. It's going to go back to ELAC, and that's great pressure defensively on the ball. Active hands from Jennifer Poole.
Great defense. That's what they need to turn a couple of possessions, a couple of turnovers into points on the other end.
I wonder if they have, I'm sure they have a play drawn up where they can isolate Gonzalez, see if they can get her going on another triple. She has 2 here in the first half. Godbolt, that's a great cut down low. Finish. Dominique Godbolt.
Great finish. They keep running that little cross screen and getting her open.
Now with 6, Salzig wide open. Triple. Hope Salzig. She has 8. Back to a 10-point lead. Godbolt will try to respond from 3. That one off the back iron. Rebounded by Hansen. 2-on-3. Euro step for Chavez. Can't get that one to fall. Gonzalez with a rebound. Inside they're looking for Gonzalez. Tap out. Gonzalez saves it. Over to Ortiz. Godbolt up top. This is cool.
Such active hands on defense.
And we love the energy level here from the Blue Devils. Kendrick so good on the ball. Forces Gonzalez to the floor. That's going to be stolen. Jump ball. The arrow in favor of ELAC. Going to stay here. Jada Johnson ready to check in at the scorer's table for the Blue Devils.
Just great defense, great hustle. Nobody gets by you without a hand reaching in to try to get a hand, try to touch the ball.
Referees today: Andrew Cornwell, Gabby Hernandez, and Deanna Butler. There's Craig Wilmore on camera. Shot well out with the shot clock winding down off the mark from Davalos.
There's a gamble going on right now from Merced. Shoji on the floor playing with 2 fouls, guarding Jalen Curley. He's averaging a little more than 14 a game. Wonder if maybe Curley might want to drive on Shoji.
Soji's going to drive on anybody she wants. Gets past Poole again, 41-29. The Blue Devils pouring it on here in the second quarter. Quick response from Curley on the other end.
You see, Shoji really has to let her go. Doesn't want to pick up the 3rd foul.
Crossover. Soji again. Nakashima gets it back. Bluffs at the 3. Pulls up from 18 feet. That one off the back iron. Kendrick trying to win a board. Poole comes away with it. Curley reverses over to Davalos. Maybe travel. Jada Johnson. Foul. 2 shots coming. Well, ELAC has done a good job of really putting the onus on the referees to call a foul. And we see it result on the scoreboard here. I'd say that's a 17th foul here in the second quarter. 2 free throws coming to Sidley Davalos. The shades have come off. Should we adjust? Shot up and good. Davalos on the season. 40%. Get to the free throw line very often. Pretty comfortable there. Second one, of course. Nice. Rebounded by Kendrick. Lead is 9 for Merced. Feels like more than that, Coach.
ELAC's doing a good job of manufacturing some points. quarter.
Double team comes over. This is Gonzalez. We'll check that pull. Pull off the mark on the shot. Might have been tipped. Nakashima comes away with a rebound. Under 2 to go. We're in the second quarter. Soji kicks out. Kendrick back to Soji. Thought about the 3. Soji, coach, keep on talking about just great patience offensively. She finds Johnson for the layup.
That was a great slip of the screen.
Just great recognition, and the synergy between Soji and Nakashima has spread throughout all of her teammates now in her second year at Merced.
When your sophomores are unselfish and willing to involve everyone else follows suit. Your freshmen will follow their lead.
Yep. Leading by example, Salsig now will pull up from 15 feet. That one rims out. We have a foul call. It's Jada Johnson. She needs to be careful. Johnson coming over the back. That's a good job by Poole getting in. Seeing Johnson come down the floor, and she goes to the floor on first contact.
Third foul on Jada Johnson. That is a significant call here with 1:13 to go.
1:13 to go. You're up 11. You're thinking about taking Soji and Jada Johnson out of the game. Both. One person at the scores table from your set.
One. Soji's going to stay in. Smart player. He's trusting her to finish the first half without picking up another foul.
Merced, a smallish team across the board, but the main size comes from Johnson, and she heads to the bench. So the size advantage swings even more in favor of East Los Angeles College.
ELAC back to a 9-point deficit. Soji brings it up. Pulls up at the free throw line. Banks it in. Might have called glass on that one. The lefty gets it back to a double-digit lead for the Blue Devils.
Again, Merced keeps you so off balance. They come down, they attack. They come down, they run their offense. They come down, they attack.
Well, a lot of that from Fresno City. In the men's bracket yesterday, Chafee could never really get into an offensive flow, and ELAC having similar trouble. Cool.
Just a nice take.
Check that. That's Ortiz with the finish. Kendrick fouled by Godbolt.
That's just the second team foul from East Los Angeles here in the second quarter.
Played previously by Ortiz, getting into the lane for Fish. ELAC down close to double digits. You just have to make plays and put the bucket, or put the ball in the bucket. 35 seconds. Soji. Holding crossover to her left, layup up short. Rebounded by Curley. Off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a Euro step. Layup up, no good. Kendrick with a rebound. 5 seconds to go. A chance for the Blue Devils to add to their lead. Soji from 3. No. Will go in at the half. Merced with a decided 9-point advantage. We're watching the 2019 CCCAA basketball finals, the quarterfinals on SoCalCollegeSports.com. start of the second half. Merced dominating the first 2 quarters of play. Mike Cepeda, Marcia Foster, Jeff Storinoff with you on today's coverage. Game 1 of 4, quadruple header. Day 2 of the 2019 3C2A Basketball Championships. It was Suzuna Soji with 20 in the first half. And Merced, just like the first quarter, getting things started off in the scoring column. Johnson with a rebound off the missed shot. Kendrick taps it out of bounds. It's going to ELAC. I'm going to say it's going to go to Merced. Oh, wow. Oh, Marcia. Merced putting ELAC on their heels to start the first half, looking to do the same thing here in the second, and they look like they've accomplished it so far.
They're coming out with the same pace. Well, it always helps when you knock down that first shot. But they're coming out with the same pace, the same intensity on defense, but you just notice that ELAC already is picking up and putting the pressure on.
Jadis Watson, along with Godbolt now, instead of Godbolt coming off of the bench. I think they realize, Coach Bruce Turner, that he needs to have Godbolt on the floor for as much as possible, and it's a big lineup out there. Down low, Johnson over the top of the defense. That's a terrific post entry by Nakashima.
The one other thing to keep in mind, Johnson playing with 3 fouls, so maybe this is a measure taken by Turner to see if he can get that 4th foul inside on Jada Johnson.
Yep. Godbolt out front. That's not going to do it. Watson being guarded by Kendrick. Terrific job fronting the post inside. Long shot off by Curley. Rebound off to Nakashima. Up ahead to Salsig. Tapped out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Blue Devils.
And Curley has got to get going for ELAC.
Kendrick into double figures with 11. Salsig with 8. Jada Johnson with 8. Soji, we just said, with 20 points in the first half. Jennifer Poole for ELAC leading the way with 11 points. Adriana Gonzalez with 10. And Dominic Godbolt with 6. Inside, that one tapped away by Poole. Poole kicks it back to Godbolt. Good find outside. They're looking for Ortiz. I think Coach Turner saying shoot the basketball. ELAC had 2 open looks there where they elected not to pull the trigger. Poole looking to turn the corner. Kicks out instead. Ortiz lost it, and Johnson with the steal. Marcia, I get the feeling that ELAC right now lacking a sense of identity offensively. Johnson fouled down low. Godbolt.
They haven't been able to get into the rhythm of what they do really well, which is to go inside out. And again, Curley has got to score for them. She's the leading scorer. She's got to get some points up on the board.
Yeah, just 2 points so far for Jalen Curley.
Yep. So Johnson with 8 points. First free throw off the mark. Game 2 today, LA Trade Tech and San Joaquin Delta. And I got a feeling that's going to be a battle.
Agreed.
LA Trade Tech, 2 seed out of the South. San Joaquin Delta really in the mix for top 10 in the state all year. Johnson, good on the second. He's got 9. Merced has a 14-point lead. Minutes to go in counting here in the third quarter. Davalos looking inside. She has Godbolt guarded one-on-one by Jada Johnson. Godbolt willing her way inside off the mark.
It's great defense inside.
Yeah, Johnson just goes straight up. Forces a tough shot back to Nakashima from 3. That one rattles out. Johnson tracks down a rebound. Soji into the corner. Great ball movement. That one nearly stolen by Poole. And Poole has really been a bright spot offensively and defensively for ELAC. Salsig hands off. This is Soji. Inside to Kendrick. That one blocked by Poole. Davalos off to the races. Nearly stolen by Kendrick. Davalos keeps possession. Back to Poole. ELAC needs to get something going in a hurry, trailing by 14.
Nice pass.
That's a great find. Down low to Poole. Poole now with 13. That one stolen by Curley. Curley up ahead, but threw it away to Nakashima. She was looking for Gonzalez. Kendrick now working one-on-one versus Poole. That shot up, no good. Rebound on the weak side. Travel here by Jada Johnson.
Godbold's able to get all ball here on Johnson's initial attempt, and the travel call comes in.
Both posts have done a great job just going straight up and down, and I like that the officials are not calling fouls with any contact there. It's good stuff.
Godbold, that's a great flash into the middle. Kicks it out, throws it away. She's got to be aggressive down low.
She has to go ahead and go up with that. They're doing a great job setting screens forward, a curl to come to the ball.
So when this is going to down low, okay?
I mean, the truck is on the block. She needs to just back it up into the facility and score. I mean, she just needs to power through the defender.
I think by nature she's a playmaker, though.
Agreed.
She wants to get other people involved. She scores in double digits, but she gets other people involved. If it's not her pass, it's the pass after her pass out that gets people going.
Chavez off the mark. Poole fighting for a rebound. Able to secure it. Poole now jetting into the front court. Euro step, left-handed layup, not there. Kendrick pulls it down. 3-on-1. Great find. Give and go from Soji to Kendrick, and Kendrick can't handle it cleanly. Pretty good pass, and Kendrick just has it go off of her foot. Nice job there, boys. Emery Johnson, Ryan Wilmore in the cockpit today.
A fast break, a key for Merced in the first half. They outscored East Los Angeles 14-5 on the break, and by coincidence led by 9 at the half.
Well, Coach, over the weekend, who comes in as a favorite? It's got to be Moore Park, right?
Moore Park from the south, Diablo Valley from the north. But there's so much parity. I mean, I think we're going to see some great games. Teams that can put points up on the boards, teams defend. But Moore Park has been so solid all year long. Kenny Plummer was coach of the South.
Yeah. Well, we're in Ventura. Moore Park, a hop, skip, and a jump away, and Ventura College will play in Game 3 today.
It's great to have Ventura playing on their home floor.
So, and that shot put in. Curley able to get on the board. Johnson down low, and she turns it over. I think she stepped on the end line there. Coach, we talked about the expanding of the expansion of the English language for the two Japanese girls, Nakashima and Soji. I think one more word to add to the vocabulary if they don't know it already. This place is going to be lit for games 3
okay.
and 4. Davalos from 3.
Yes, it will.
Off the back iron. Godbolt keeps it alive. Curley over to Poole, kicking it back. And Coach, you talked about that unselfish play. And it working against ELAC as Soji lays it in. She has 22. Godbolt switched off on. Johnson back on her. She has it in the post. Looks like Ortiz getting it up. Gets her own rebound. Fights for it. That was Poole, excuse me. Curley fouled.
There you go. She needs to see something going, whether it's free throws, good attack.
Just good recognition. She realized she had it, had the space, had an opportunity, and she's going to go to the line. And we're set up by 12. And Coach, keep on talking about this. It feels like more.
Right. ELAC is hanging around.
ELAC's right there.
Yes, they are.
At 4:20 to go here in the third. Plenty of time to have another quarter play after this.
I watched them in one of their recent games, the playoff game actually against Cyprus out of the Orange Empire Conference, and they were down 14 and came back and won the game. So ELAC's never out of the game.
Question is, can they find the switch? And Merced has been very good today in not allowing ELAC to be able to turn anything on.
Well, I think it's good that Curley just saw the ball go through the basket. Again, if she can get going, that's really going to help them.
Stoyanov, do you think ELAC has a Vossler on their team? It's a movie reference. Marcia will
Okay.
we'll clue you in during one of the breaks here. Kendrick fouled going up with it. It's a good job by Kendrick. You know, for a player that is her size, Malia Kendrick, 5'7", she's a freshman, but she plays a lot bigger than 5'7".
She sure does.
I don't know if she's actually 5'7". That might be a program height.
When you put sneakers on, she's 5'7".
hey, you don't play with your bare feet, do you?
She rebounds, she attacks, she defends, she shoots the ball. She's a nice player.
Coach Huddleston going to have it for another year. This is on both free throws, though. So the lead remains 10 for Merced. 4-minute mark in the third. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoyanov, Marcia Foster here on SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage. 3C2A men's and women's basketball, day 2 of the 2019 basketball championships. 3-point attempt off the mark. Johnson with the rebound off to Soji. Soji loses it. Davalos comes up with it here for ELAC. Signs of life here. That one way out downtown. Curley.
There we go.
Curley shooting 42% on the season from 3. Kendrick trying to respond. Johnson point blank, fouled by Watson. See that 3-point shot one more time. This one from Oxnard. Hey, you're going to leave me open. Got a little Steph Curry range for you.
Jalen Curley's second team All-State, 3.7 GPA. She's also Native American.
Is that right?
A Navajo. Yeah, her mom teaches on the reservation. So
very good.
Coach absolutely loves her. So a coach's dream. Comes in, works hard every day, doesn't ask for anything, just does her job. You know the reservation, folks on the reservation are tuned in too, listening.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know how important it is. Community is such a big thing.
Johnson misses the first, misses the second. Godbolt with a rebound for ELAC. And here we go. Godbolt back to Curley. Another one? No, in and out. Gonzalez with a rebound. Maybe a timeout here. Godbolt on the floor. We're going to have a jump ball called. Or is it going to be a foul on Johnson? Was it a timeout?
Show me later.
Oh, that's the 4th on Johnson. That is a huge call.
Okay, so Johnson does fall on top of the player. Boys, can I see that one more time here? Quick. Yeah, she's on top of Gobble. Yeah, she reaches in. That's not a bad call. I understand she's going for the ball there, but you got a player that's on the ground and then you reach over her shoulder. Johnson comes off, and that is her 4th and opportunity here for ELAC, with the biggest player at the disposal for Merced on the bench in foul trouble. Godbolt right away goes down low, pull, lays it up, lays it in. The lead is 5 for Merced, and ELAC coming alive. Soji, 22 in this one, but only 2 in the first half. She pulls up from the elbow. That shot is good.
Nice touch.
Soft touch. That is Akeem-esque.
Well, it shows he goes into the ELAC bench. Well, she seems to be okay.
We're going to have a timeout called, and starting to get away here from Merced, up by 7. 54-47, 2:25 to go. A good one here from Ventura. ELAC trailing by 7. Signs of life here in the third quarter. Well, you knew Bruce Turner and his squad was not going to go away. And I think they're trying to figure out the score because, Coach, I don't remember there being a bucket here after 50, because I thought it was a 5-point lead.
It was, but didn't she have the soft jumper down?
Yeah, it shows you got the roll from the
You're right.
the elbow there.
Okay. All right. Because it looked like a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was.
How you saying Merced? No, how you saying this is a
We have a
team name?
spill at the scorer's table, suspending play just a little bit.
Okay.
Love to hear that conversation down there. I wonder what's being said.
That's from when Soji went into the bench, right?
Yeah.
Hustle play.
I wonder if she spilled something or maybe something caused her to slip into the bench. She's
Looks
okay
like
though.
they're cleaning up something behind the chair
Right.
there.
So ELAC with possession. Working from right to left here in the second half. Gonzalez looking for a cutting Godbolt. Give and go. No, Godbolt going to go to work. Drop step. That's going to be a travel. Coach, we talked about in that first half that she needs to get a little lower when she goes to that move so she doesn't bring up that pivot.
I thought that was a good college move, though. That was a step and dribble and then 2 steps. I thought that was good, but maybe she slid and I couldn't see it.
We have a tough angle up here for sure. That one off the mark. Soji with the rebound. That was Hansen. We'll have timeout. They're saying that the shot clock should not have reset. It's down to 19. Under 2 to go. We're in the third. Hansen's going to bring it in. Hansen looking for Kendrick. That's a great job by Poole in denial. Kendrick gets away, lays it up, can't get it in. Gets her own rebound. She'll put it up.
Nice finish.
Persistence prevails from Malia Kendrick. Just a freshman, Coach.
Yeah, she's just locked in, though. Well, they all are.
Soji goes to the steal. Gonzalez can't make her pay. Good recovery there by Soji. Back door, Curley going to work. Reverse
There we
layup,
go.
high degree of difficulty. Curley's going to be tough in a horse game, that's for sure. Kendrick trying to respond on the other end. She does. Silky smooth from the mid-range.
What an answer.
Hey, nice layup. How about I serve this up for you? Back and forth we go. The lead back out to 9 for the Blue Devils. Cool. Kicks it up to Curley. Curley.
Nice.
That's a great find outside. Gonzalez wide open.
There we
3.
go.
Adriana Gonzalez.
There's that inside-out game.
Soji gets into the lane. Kicks it back out. Salsig. Kendrick wide open down low. Layup up and good. And the execution pristine here from Merced.
So patient. They just wait for the best shot.
Curley from 3. In and out. Davalos with the rebound. Another possession for ELAC. And the shot clock and the game clock are pretty much identical. Godbolt with it in the mid-post. Takes it back out. Pull, driving the lane. Layup up. It's good.
Very nice.
Crossover from Kendrick. Kendrick looking to spin back in the middle. That one poked away by Poole. Beautiful defensive play by Poole after she had been beaten. A nifty move from Malia Kendrick. Jada Johnson will come back in. Coach, I'm a little surprised here.
Must be a play designed for her.
Agreed. Watson will come in. Godbolt off. And Godbolt, you see out there, you know, she's a little winded. Need a little break. I'm trying to say, hey, look, Dominique, I'm going to get you on the bench here. At the end of the third, we need some more from you. Going to have to bring it home down the stretch. Box set, baseline out of bounds. Outside, Soji 4 on the clock. She's going to have to heave-ho from 17 feet. Soji off the mark. East LA. ELAC and the Huskies closing the gap, trailing by 6, and we head into the fourth. Day 1, or Day 2, Game 1, here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Be back in a moment. we head into the final quarter of play, and ELAC starting to bring it together. That inside-out game, Marcia, that you were talking about, starting to come alive here. A couple of 3 balls. Davalos hit one, Curley hit one, Gonzalez hit one there in that third quarter.
The toughness is apparent. I mean, both teams are playing tough defense and going for those extra possessions, but thought ELAC came alive in the third quarter.
Coach Huddleston, this player on the deck, likes to call a timeout here. The offense in disarray.
Yeah, 9 points in the third quarter for Jalen Curley, and I think that really keyed the entire team.
Well, Coach, you talked about it. She needed to get going if ELAC was going to have a chance. They were listening to her.
She did, though, and you know, when your leading scorer isn't scoring, I mean, there's energy that you get when the ball goes in the basket. There's defensive energy. There's just energy, and she got going, and it kind of turned everything around for them. Sometimes just seeing the ball go in. She made those free throws, and then it kind of opened it
that's
up.
exactly right. Davalos pokes that one away. Soji able to track it down for the Blue Devils in the white, working left to right here in the second half. Soji off the catch. Salsig from 3. That's short. Godbolt over pursued, but she's able to swipe it away from Jada Johnson. They wanted a double dribble, but I don't think she had possession there. Not clear enough for her to be whistled for an infraction. Good job by Soji in the passing lane. Davalos bluffs at the 3, kicks out. Godbolt not even looking to shoot it. Gives out to Curley. Salsig guarding Curley closely. Pull on the baseline, comes free, lays it up, can't get it to go. Point blank opportunity by Poole. Poole comes up a little gimpy. Soji directing traffic. Gives off inside. Beautiful find for Johnson, who misses point blank, gets her own rebound. Second time we've seen that.
Yes, what a great pass. But the follow, the quick jump back up, it's impressive.
You know, the player that made the pass that was Ashley Henson. She's just like, hey, you cost me an assist there. Davalos at the top. She has the ability to shoot that long ball. Salsig very aware of it. With a hand up, crossover to her left, kick out. Ortiz in the short corner. That shot up and good. Mercedes Ortiz. Full court pressure now. Kendrick. Great job by Kendrick not traveling there after the double came over from Poole. To her right, Kendrick just running the show here in the second half.
What a great take.
8 minutes to go here in game 1 of the day. Game 1 of 4. Curley from 3, in and out. We've seen about a couple of those. I want to say 3 total in and out for ELAC. And they trail it by 8. Hard luck.
Right, those are good shots, you know.
And Coach, exactly that. Coach Turner going to take a timeout here, and I think he wants to tell his players, look, we're down by 8 here. We need those shots to keep going. Don't stop shooting. Sometimes when you miss shots and they're in and out, you get a little gun shy. Maintain the confidence. I think that's exactly what Bruce is talking about right now.
That's their game.
4 games on the slate here today. After this, it'll be LA Trade Tech, San Joaquin Delta. The Diablo Valley, the top seed from the north, will take on the host school, Ventura. It'll be a dangerous matchup here for Diablo Valley, the top seed from the north, playing a team that's very familiar with this gym because it's their home gym, and then in the nightcap, Moore Park, playing College of the Sequoias. The Sequoias sending both of their men's and women's basketball programs here. Last year, I believe it was Fresno that did that, if memory serves.
Yes. Irvine Valley, another OEC team, played in the playoffs and played against Ventura. Came up here to play, and Julie Hanks told me that they were making 3-point shots from the locker room.
Well, we've seen a lot of that over the years here. We've had an opportunity to cover Ventura College athletics throughout the years. Shout out to Will Cowan. Will Cowan, longtime athletic director, is able to move on to an ACC school, Florida State University. Continuing his work with the women's basketball developmental program. Still miss him. Soji working for the Blue Devils off to Hansen from 3. That one off the mark. Curley with a rebound. Up ahead to Poole. Poole needs to go to the bucket. Right-handed layup. That's good. ELAC down 6. Soji, quick response? No. Kicks back to Salsig. Kendrick from 3, wide open. Ooh. Wrong player to do that. She hits on the triple. Every time ELAC seems to make a run, Merced has a response.
Merced's ball movement, it's so quick and so crisp.
Reminds me of the Spurs. Curley with it out front. Drives the lane. Right-handed layup, not there. Johnson has a rebound swiped away by Godbolt. She's contacted, no call. Godbolt able to finish.
Great takeaway and finish.
Johnson was all over that rebound, and Godbolt just reached in and took it away. Kendrick, Godbolt comes over for help. Johnson with the offensive rebound, and that's what happens. Godbolt has to come over. Kendrick on the drive again. Godbolt making the correct defensive adjustment, but that's going to free up Johnson on that offensive board.
Johnson has such long arms and jumps so quick.
Yeah.
This is great anticipation for offensive
I have
rebounds.
a feeling there's a volleyball background there.
Man.
Johnson off the mark on the first free throw. What the numbers are here from the free throw line. Let's take a look, shall we? Six of 12 on the day for Merced, so not doing themselves any favors. Meanwhile, ELAC 6 of 14 from the stripe. Second free throw up and good. The lead back to 8 for Merced. Gonzalez pulls up, 12-footer. She gonna get the roll? No. Johnson, good position in the board off the Kendrick. Godbolt on the ground. Gonzalez over to Poole. Poole, it's blocked on Soji. That's Soji's third. See the play here, just a terrific job by Godbolt saying, hey, look, if you're going to expose it, I'm going to take it away. Soji unable to get to the spot. Curley off a set play. She inbounded the basketball. Kendrick backing down the rebound. I want to say she traveled or stepped on the end line. She did move the pivot foot. It's going to come back to the Huskies. Let's see here. That's a great job of boxing out by Malia Kendrick, but yeah, she traveled. Had it and then stepped. Poole out front. Layup, not good. That's a great job by Kendrick defensively, moving her feet. Off to Soji. Soji pulls up from 15. Yes. Soji now with 26. She's 11 of 21 from the field, Coach.
Wow. Set the pace for him, made great decisions.
Kendrick with 22. Jada Johnson with 12. Nakashima scoreless. Well, how do you like that? Nakashima averaging double figures on the season. So does Salsig. Combined, they have 8 points. Long two put in by Gonzalez.
They still have time. Need to get some stops.
Well, that's not going to do them any favors. You got to stop the ball in transition, and Soji with her 28 points. Ortiz off the mark on the layup. Nakashima with a rebound, and I'd like to see Merced maybe hold on to the ball a little bit here and milk the clock.
Yeah, looks like they heard you, Mike.
I have my coaching moments. Suzuna Soji throws it away. Near steal, gets it back. Nakashima from 3. That one off the back iron. We're going to have a foul on the floor. I want to say this is going to go against Dominic Godbolt.
It's getting really, really physical out on the floor. I know that ELAC has to take chances and go for steals. Physicality is really just jumped up a notch.
Inside and one. Poole fouling Johnson. Play that catches everybody off guard. Godbolt comes off. Coach, I don't know what's happening there because I think the referee's supposed to say, well, not entirely sure. There was a conversation going on. Between one of the referees, the off referee, not the one down by the baseline, and the referee down by the baseline with a miscommunication gives the ball inbound, and with Godbolt out, they just enter into Johnson. Can we see that one more time, fellas? The last replay that we just had, we see Godbolt having a decision, and then they just inbound the basketball. That's what's the lack of communication there, Coach?
There was definitely lack of communication. Like, the officials needed to wait.
Nice job.
A player's talking to an official, you can't inbound the ball at that time. That's unfortunate.
This puts me in mind of a game from a couple of years ago, Michael, when we were here in East Los Angeles College after an outstanding regular season, matched up with a College of the Siskiyou squad, and East Los Angeles College came out and played a pretty good game and just ran into a buzzsaw, a team that eventually went on to reach the final game before falling, and you just had the feeling that it was a bit of bad luck for East Los Angeles College to just run into a team that executed and played so well. And this one has a similar type of feel after another good season. East Los Angeles College, certainly there are things that they could have done differently or could have done better, but this has really been about Merced just being a very, very difficult team to beat on this day.
I feel like we're watching a continuation of last year, although there are a lot of different players, so that speaks to the coaching. By no means is the game over. ELAC still has time to get back in it, but Merced is just, they execute, they make plays when they need to make plays, they're unselfish.
Merced's really limiting their openings to really get things done. They're having to work so hard to get themselves back into the game.
Godbolt inside, looking outside for Davalos. Good close out by Nakashima. Davalos in and out. Curley inside to Godbolt. Godbolt will bring it outside. Nakashima looking for an assignment. Curley thought about firing from three. That's a great closeout by Johnson. Curley can't get it to go. Rebounded by Johnson. Off to Soji. Soji to hold it up. There you go. 4-minute mark here. Merced in command, 75-62. They're looking more and more like they are going to punch their ticket to semifinal Saturday. Dagger three, no. Johnson fouled on the putback attempt.
Very impressed with Jada Johnson's work on the offensive boards. That's got to be about a half a dozen offensive rebounds for Jada Johnson. She just does a great job of working so hard and getting herself free.
Well, that's her 16th rebound of the game. She has 15 and 16. Welcomed double-double, her and Malia Kendrick.
And here's the thing, guys. She's done that while in foul trouble for most of this second half, for this entire second half.
4 fouls. She's played smart. She's played smart.
It's starting to get late here for ELAC. They need to turn it on from deep. Johnson off again. She's 3 of 9 from the stripe. Soji nearly threw that one away. The Blue Devils in killed the clock mode now, under 4 to go. In the fourth, San Joaquin Delta. Coming up next, play LA Trade Tech. Johnson fouled by Godbolt. That should do it for Dominique. For fifth. They're going to say that foul's going to go against Curley.
I guess there was a choice because Godbolt got her. That was a great pass inside.
Good feed. Johnson off again, 3 of 10 now. Well, as a coach, you always love to have an aspect to coach. It was a very well played game from Merced, but some things to fine tune, and most notably the free throw shooting. As Jada Johnson hits on the second. What do you do with a player like Jada? You know, she's going to get to the foul line quite often. You look at her game, and she's so physical down low. How do you work on that this late in the season?
They've probably been working with it all season long. You know, you just get in the gym with those kids that struggle from the free throw line, and that's the key part, to get into the gym and work on the shot. Her shot doesn't look bad.
I don't think the form is off. I think it's just the feel, and hey, this is a gym that they're not familiar with,
right.
So you expect that number to climb on the second day of action.
She's doing so many positive things on the floor that you just keep encouraging. Hey, those are going to drop for you.
Yeah. Soji over Kendrick. Gets it back. Well, Coach, it's looking more and more like this is going to be the final game for the season for ELAC, and I will say I'm very impressed by the play of Jennifer Poole, offensively and defensively on the ball. She's had the toughest defensive assignment trying to guard Malia Kendrick. That's a tough assignment, trying to stay in front of that player with her speed and her athleticism. But she's really showed out very well for herself. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
She's done a great job. I mean, she kept them in the game in the first half, and didn't allow the lead to grow more than what it was, and she's just continued to attack.
And Jalen Curley, you know, she has 11 points, leading scorer on the season for ELAC. That one off the back iron. She's just had a couple of opportunities just not go down for her.
Right.
And credit the defensive adjustments and the game plan that Merced put to use here today. Well, Coach, what are we going to see coming up here from LA Trade Tech and San Joaquin Delta?
We're going to see some good basketball. We're going to see some more good basketball.
I know LA Trade Tech, the Beavers have a couple of Cheyennes at their disposal.
Right. Really tough kid. First team All-State kid, third team All-State, I believe, for the other one. Just some really nice players. And Delta as well. It's going to be exciting.
Jeff, I know you have some notes on that game.
Yeah, McKinney and Gibbons both averaging over 20 a game, and they'll certainly key the attack for LA Trade Tech. And it's going to be a fascinating matchup. Trade Tech, so very well coached, and they're going to try and push the pressure. But San Joaquin Delta, a regular contestant here in the championship level under longtime head coach Gina Johnson. You know they're going to be incredibly well coached and ready
absolutely
for any style of play. So it's going to be a fascinating matchup to watch play out.
2 minutes and change. Davalos from way downtown saying it's not over yet. 2 minutes. Soji maintaining ball control, picks up her dribble off to Hansen. Hansen into the lane, kicks it out to Kendrick. Good ball movement again from Merced. Hansen from 3 to respond. No. Kendrick with a rebound. Godbolt with the foul, and that's going to end her season. Just a frustrating afternoon. And I think Godbolt really frustrated by the fact that nobody's down there blocking out. It's got to be a team rebound for everybody. She's got a good point.
She was upset about that, and she's right. You know, you're down there, you're doing the dirty work. You want other people to do their job on the floor.
Nobody boxing out.
I can't box out everybody.
Right.
So it's, but Merced, for all the talk about them being a little bit undersized as a team, almost 19 offensive rebounds a game average on the season. So this is a team that knows how to attack the offensive glass.
A lot of that is Jada Johnson.
Absolutely. The inside one, you know, they take a lot of jumpers. A lot of those shots go a little bit longer. Those guards play those angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy to forget that Kendrick, over 10 rebounds a game on the season.
That's incredible for
22 and 14. And after the soft touch, 23 and 14 with a free throw to go from Malia Kendrick. soft roll. She got 24. Davalos. Crossover. Full. Loses it out of bounds. Well, Marcia, how was your season?
We had a good year. 10-4 in conference, 18-10 overall. We had a couple teams that were ranked. We had a nice season. Unfortunately, not nice enough to make it into the playoffs.
When I looked at your record, I was just like, she's got to be getting a game. And then the seedings came out, and I was just like, no love.
No, our conference RPI wasn't strong enough to get us in. But I'm really proud of the season. Not many people in their season on a win. We did.
Right.
We did some good things. We did what we needed to do for the most part. And I really enjoyed my team, enjoyed my kids, good kids. So I was very, very pleased.
And it's the system by which you get into the playoffs. It's very formulaic.
Yes.
Numbers are punched into a computer, and you're either in or you're out. Fortunately, you're on the short end side.
We were.
Davalos from 3. Gonzalez for the rebound, point blank. ELAC closes the gap, but I think going to be all for naught here. Gonzalez now with 17 in this one.
Talk about our team, the OEC's RPI not being as high as it typically is. You look at the conference, the South Coast with ELAC and Trade Tech and Rio and Pasadena, and who else am I missing in there? Mount Sac. I mean, they had conference. Teams get in with 3-7 records in conference because they're just beating each other up because they're all ranked in the top 20. A lot of them in the top 10.
Strength of schedule early in the season.
Right.
Playing a factor as well.
Winning those games.
Yep. Inside feed from Davalos.
Rebound.
Johnson. Very fitting. Ball on the floor. Arrow in favor of the Blue Devils. So we'll stay with Merced. 1:11 to go.
So I expect the Orange Empire Conference to be back and to be back strong next year.
Curley from 3 off the front iron. Tracks down her rebound. Picks up her dribble. This is Talia Jones. And Jones into the mix.
You have to marvel at the conditioning of the Merced Ball Club. They played 7 players in this one. East Los Angeles College has gone 9 deep, and it looks like the Huskies are a little more tired here in the final as we approach the final minute.
You know what that means? Huddleston get them out there on the track.
Right. And to me, again, it just looks like a continuation of what we saw out here last year from Coach Huddleston's team. Just a relentlessness and an unselfishness that wears people down. Because who do you stop? Because if you stop me, I'm going to pass to you.
It's a sustained work ethic throughout a season. This is where all the work comes into the culmination. How is that going to pay off? Obviously, their season was great from the get. They had a terrific year. Did Merced 28-3 overall, 11-1 in conference, tied for first in the Central Valley. But this is work that the endurance that you're talking about here, Stoyanov, this is work that you put in September, October, November. You're on the track. You're out there at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. You're putting in work in the weight room, and you're getting prepped and primed for the season. And Merced, a factor here in 2019.
I believe last night at the banquet, what the captains talked about their 5 a.m. practices. May have a little something to do with a discipline and a commitment.
Oh, yeah. Gonzalez on the baseline. Get it to go. Tapped around. Curley makes it in. Suzuna Soji with 32. Now on Curley, that's her second. The winner will get the winner of Game 3 here today, I believe.
Yes, that's correct. Diablo Valley and Ventura.
DVC and Ventura, and that one will get Merced. Congratulations to Coach Bruce Turner and ELAC yet again, showing why they're one of the best programs in the state of California in the 3C2A.
Absolutely. Great job to get here.
Davalos showing off some moves. Stolen by Nakashima. Nakashima can hold. I don't know why you're fouling at this point. For Gonzalez. Special thanks to everybody here on board at SoCal College Sports, and of course to you, Marcia, for coming out again, year 2. We hope to make this an annual thing outside of you playing in it.
Yeah,
and if
right.
you are playing in it, we'll just mic you up.
That would be awesome. But I love being here. It's really, really good to watch high-quality teams play from this perspective, to listen to you all talk about it, and really see all of the preparation it takes to be good at this level and to be here.
Curley into the front court. Kicks it back to Davalos. She thought about it for 30. Step back jumper. That one off the back iron. Gets her own rebound. Davalos from the short corner. That shot up and good.
Are you still keeping track of Seton Hall, Marcia? Watching how they're
I am.
how they're doing?
I need a team. So the women struggled a little bit this year. They were out here at UCLA, and that didn't go as I wanted it to go. But
were you at that game? Did you go to
no,
Portland?
actually doing some work and watching it on TV. So, but the men have had a nice run here in the season. So they were on the last 4 to get in. I think they've moved up a little bit. I'll need a team in there to root for.
And Jeff, why is the Seton Hall significant?
What's that?
Why is the Seton Hall significant?
Marcia's
Well, I know. The audience doesn't necessarily know.
Alma mater. Still in the record books.
I am still in the record books.
At Seton Hall. I thought you was going to say it's Marcia's alma mater, and I remember watching them in their big run in 1989. So it's personal to me. It's getting all the way to the championship.
PJ
Carlesimo. That's right. But
it was whoever had the ball last in that game.
Yes, it really was.
Who had the ball last?
Ramil Robinson at the line.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's an 80s encyclopedia, this man.
I was right there at the end. There's Ben Rice and John Morton, I believe, made himself some money that night.
Yes.
I believe, as he had his short NBA career then after that, but he had to put on a great performance in that championship. But yes, you're the 4 year player there?
Yes, 4-year player. 4-year starter.
Yeah.
4-year starter. Hey.
There you go.
4-year starter.
That's right. Short change. That little question mark on the 4 years. I wasn't even close to getting there. It's a little more than that.
Court pressure broken easily by Malia Kendrick, who will add to her point total. She has 27. Suzuna Shoji with 34. Long three by Davalos, no good. And it's a final. Merced handily over ELAC, 89-75. Game 1 in the books. Game 2 coming up. The Beavers from LA Trade Tech will take off Diablo. Excuse me, not Diablo Valley. What am I talking about? I'm getting ahead of myself.
San
Joaquin Delta, the Mustangs, coming up at 3 o'clock. It will probably. What's the rule here, Marcia? Do you know if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes between games?
I don't. I think there's just start times. So there has to at least be 20 minutes between a game.
Yeah.
So right now, 2:49. So we're probably looking about a 3:10, 3:15 start time for Game 2 here today. For Jet Stoynoff, for Marcia Foster, for the attacker here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Signing off on Mike Cepeda. We'll be back at 3:15.